Yo, this your boy EC22 along with Coach D-Way and our boy J-Dub, man. This is the FairWeather Fan channel, man. Please like, subscribe, share, leave comments. But most of all, I need you to join this conversation. Y'all get in the comment sections and talk your smack if you can. But hey, it is what it is, man. We're here to talk some sports, man. J-Dub, welcome back, my brother.
Absolutely.
Brother, glad to be here. At least spend an hour detached from real life to talk sports with you fellas.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, man. Hey, man, let's drop right on to it, man. Hey, J-Dub, the WNBA CBA. What is going on?
I don't even know where to start on that. You know, I've had this conversation with several people. And I've seen the most recent offer from both sides, and my overall view. So the only thing I've heard, EC, you can correct me, is how long does the CBA last? Is it 10 years like in most sports?
I believe it's 8 years.
8 years, okay. So I wish the professional athlete women of the WNBA would have eaten just a tiny bit of crow and maybe figured out a way to shorten that like maybe get 3 years, okay? Because what I'm afraid is going to happen, and what I've seen happen in talking to people, is they had some growth and they had some popularity and everything was moving in the right direction. The league was maybe not making money, but certainly not bleeding money as it has in the past. And these ladies have seen this growth of popularity and overplayed their hand, in my opinion. And I get it. They're worth I'm usually on the side of the athletes of every league making 51%, because the reason that we watch the sport is for the athlete. So they should get 51%, but they're not there yet. And they've just added chartered flights, and they want homes, and they want all these other things that that they're asking for too much, that the league just doesn't have the logistics or the money to do those things.
Yeah.
So whether I side with the league or with the players, I guess I'm pragmatic enough and logistical enough that I don't understand how the league can even do the offer that they're making, let alone the offer that the players are demanding. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely.
So that's not to say I don't agree with the ladies and what they should be getting one day when we can sell ad revenue at the same rate that we can sell it, or similar rate that we can sell it for the men's leagues or whoever we want to compare it to. But until we can sell more ad revenue, we can't do everything y'all are asking, but we can do more. So how about we shorten the CBA to 3 years or 2 years, and y'all eat a little crow for 2 years, and let's see what happens. We got some super duper stars coming.
So good.
That is going to even make it more hype. And by then you have an ingrained Asia and Nafisha. Everybody knows their names. You have a Caitlin Clark and an Angel rivalry that's been going on for a few years. You got new rookies. So if you could shorten the CBA and maybe we renegotiate, and y'all could have been a little more demanding when the popularity has really taken off, instead of when it's just now starting to take off.
100%.
D-Way, what you got?
That's my 5 seconds on it, I promise you.
Man, 110%. I mean, J-Dub knocked it out of the park. And I'm with him. I couldn't believe that they even put together what they put together from a package to the league to offer.
I think they did a good job.
I want them. I'm with both you guys. I want those women to make as much money as they can make.
Yeah.
But you can't get blood out of a turnip. Okay. Until it's there to give and make, then it's like J-Dub said, we're about I'm hoping it's 2 years away. It could be as much as 3 years away from this thing really blowing up. And when the time gets there and the money's there to be had and divvied up, let's go. Let's do the right thing and pay the athletes. How about you, EC?
And wait, one second, EC. I got one more thing to add on to that. I want y'all to remember, every league we've seen strike, right? From Major League Baseball, NBA had a shortened season, hockey was off for a year and a half. When it comes back, there's a taste of nasty in your mouth, because these people just held out and we didn't get our season. So ratings always drop. So if they allow this season to be canceled, the ratings that are just now starting to climb are going to drop significantly.
100%.
That's all I wanted to add on to it.
Absolutely. There's several things to look at this. I've been studying this for so long. There's two sides of every coin. So I'm going to go to the side of the women, right? When I look at the women, how they've been handled since 1998, right? And the money, the problem with the WNBA and the money not making money is that you can't make it the women's version of the NBA, right?
Mm-hmm.
League that's already doing its thing. Jordan has already brought a lot of fanfare to the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Bow, you drop this woman league right now that he's retired and then try to manage it through a team. Now, that would have worked if every NBA team would have had a WNBA team. That would have worked. But because you only had a few teams out there, it doesn't work, right? Because we saw what they did down in Miami, right? They're able to create revenue from the moment they did the Unrivaled League, smaller venue, you know what I'm saying, more personal and more intentional around women's basketball versus being the female version of men's basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those same NBA fans that come turn around and watch the women, that don't work. They need to be completely away from the men, because otherwise people who are watching NBA and WNBA, believe it or not, the WNBA is a competitor of the NBA. And we can't have that, especially when they come in May and then you got the playoffs happening, right? It makes no sense, right? So these women are basically screaming and saying, hey, first of all, you mismanaged our league for all years, and we've paid for it. I know you guys paid for it financially, but we've been reaping a bit of fruit because y'all billionaires, y'all got money, right? And now that the Unrivaled League has shown that they can make money, this is the other side of the coin, and this is what the WNBA and Adam Sandler and Eagle Hart is trying to tell these women. You guys are asking for too much. And I get it, right? They're giving you 70% of revenue off the nets, would be about 15% off of gross, whatever. They want 27% off the net or whatever, so they're going to try to make a little bit more money. And I get it, but you are getting a revenue share. That's what you asked for, and you're going to get it. And you're going to argue over 10 to 12% more or less. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you, J-Dub. Ask for a shorter collective bargaining agreement, right? March 10th is the cutoff date. The WNBA said, listen, March 10th, we got to get it done or we're going to lock it out. If they get it done in March 10th, look at what's in jeopardy. You still got to have 2 drafts with the Toronto expansion team as well as the Portland team, right? Right now, only over 80% of the women in the WNBA don't have a contract because they all did 1-year contracts because they knew the CBA was coming. So you don't even know who the team's going to be on the teams right now.
That's right.
You have a draft for those 2 expansion teams. Then you have to have, you got to have a free agency first, then a draft to the expansion teams. Then you got to have a college draft with all these women that are coming out. Then you got to have a training camp, and then you got to start the season on May 10th, on May 8th. Like, this is too much. They got to get it done. I understand WNBA players, what you're asking for and what you're trying to, but what you're doing, you're going to put your league in jeopardy. Because unlike the NBA and unlike all the men's professional sport, they have leverage with the current talent they have right now, right? You guys need the leverage of an Azzy Fudd, of a Flo J. Johnson. You're going to need the leverage of a Sarah Strong, not Sarah Strong, but Lauren Betts. These women don't get to play this season if you hold out. That's what we're waiting on. We're waiting on Juju Watson. You know what I'm saying? We're waiting on Olivia Miles and Hannah Hidalgo to come out of college. The WNBA is set up to be in a great spot. You guys, Shanae Ogumake, Phaneesa Collier, you guys got to get this thing done because your future of the WNBA is in jeopardy. Now, the big question is, J-Dub, but based on what you said, what Coach said, and what I said, can the Unrivaled League take the place of the WNBA if the WNBA expand?
So what I'm going to say is sound kind of rude, and I don't mean it rude, but it can take the place because the place that it's taking isn't very big, right? The growth is just now there, and they're kind of holding hands with each other. The reason one's getting bigger is because the other one's getting bigger, and one's getting bigger because the other one's getting bigger. So can it take the place? Yeah, I think you're going to have the same fans you have now, where the goal is more fans. The goal is more growth. The goal is to get more people watching this sport. So again, we can make more money and give y'all more money. But I mean, it can take the place of it, but I think you're going to, it's going to be stagnant, just like the WNBA has been stagnant. They have mismanaged their talent. And that's not all on the owners. That's not all on the coaches. That's on some of the players themselves have mismanaged the talent and created villains where there didn't need to be villains and created unnecessary personal rivalry and that's some of the players' fault too. That's the players, the coaches, and the management have mismanaged their talent. So, I mean, I can take the place of it because you're just taking out one piece of pie and putting in the other.
Right.
But the goal was growth. The goal was growth.
I think we need both of them. I think you can't have one without the other. Because nobody wants. I mean, we love 3-on-3 basketball, right? We do, but they ain't saying that for everybody else, right? 5-on-5 basketball is traditional basketball, right?
Right.
Nobody. There is no. I mean, Ice Cube said it best. We're not a competitor to the NBA, as though Adam Silver tried to make it seem like. He said, "No, we're a supplemental league." You know what I'm saying? We are the retired guys association. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Unlike the Unrival have the current players, right? But I think for just the sake of women's professional basketball in America, they're going to need both to keep this thing growing, right? Because some women still go overseas. The women don't want to prolong the season. They've already fought that battle. That was most folks are asking for, giving them a longer season. They said no, they don't want that. So now you have the league that come out after that, the Unrivaled League, which we all love, include the 1-on-1, and then other ways to make money based on your stats and stuff like that. So they're just throwing out money over there. They're doing a great job, but yeah, they need to get it done.
And the Unrivaled League has done something for fans that is hard to do for sports, and we've gotten to know these women. So Marina Mayberry's having a phenomenal Unrivaled season, like 25 points a game, 8 assists a game. Paige Beckers is having a phenomenal. Obviously, Mama Gray is having a. So, Dominique Malonga, did I say that right?
Yeah.
She's having a great season. So people are getting to learn about the ladies that are going to represent the hometown through the Unrivaled League. But just like you said, they go hand in hand, right? Because you're going to root for the Sparks or you're going to root for the Wings or whoever. But when we watch this Unrivaled League, we get a different view of these ladies that we're rooting for. And we get to know them a little bit better. We get to see them coming down the tunnel. There's more interviews. But the thing that you said that has been the problem since 98 is the overhead. Right, for the WNBA, the cost of this stadium, not only renting the stadium, but powering the stadium and having enough employees in the stadium for you to sell out 20% of it, for you and so that's a huge expense where Unrivaled League found a way around that. I don't know why they have been forced or made to play in the NBA stadiums when they can't fill the lower bowl of the AAC at most games. It's a huge problem.
When you're looking at like the traditional NBA sponsors, you got Coke, you got maybe some clothing wears, but mainly it's going to be like, household products or whatever like that. But when you look at the WNBA, right, Sephora is a big contributor, right, because of the glam walk they have, right?
Right, yep.
The one you just said, Dominique Malonga, I watched her as she played last year with the Seattle Storm, as she came to this league. Same way when it come down to our girl over at Ezra Stevens, right? Just being over in Miami and being in that Sephora glam room, them girls is getting a complete makeover. I watched Dominique Malonga play with long hair yesterday. I'm like, her hair always came to her ears. But I'm like, she's like being able to get that makeover, and the little girls are watching.
Right.
They like that. And Sephora is cleaning up money because of that. These young women are running to the store. I want what Paige is wearing. I want what Dominique is wearing.
That's right.
Make Dominique look like that. I want that.
But the goal is to have these young ladies run into the basketball court because they're getting to know. They're getting to have idols that they haven't had before because we get to know them better.
And they're doing both. We talked about
there it is.
They do both. We talked about that most young women drop out of sports by the age of 14 because of low body confidence, right? And when you see the Angel Reese's, what she just did on the over on at the runway at Victoria's Secret's runway, you know what I'm saying? Being a basketball player and able to hit a runway and just take the world by storm, like showing that hey, you can be an athlete and still be sexy as a woman. That you can do both, and that's what the Unrivaled League is showcasing. Talent as well as beauty, right? Even when it comes down to the alternative lifestyles, right? They're giving those people a voice over there in that side over there, so they're making a tons of money. But when you look at the WNBA, and all you seeing is just the female version. That's it. That's how they market it, and they got to do a better job at that. Lou been having a lot of great things to say. He basically said, even though the run light was supposed to be designed to supplemental, not to replace the NBA. And he said that they want a partnership, and that's cool. He said, wow, yeah. He said the rival league is started up with $300 million of believe that the women players use unrivaled way to put pressure on the WNBA for better compensation working conditions, right? He said, which brings back to my point, the WNBA being will eventually be in place, replace it, get it together.
Yeah.
And I couldn't agree with him more. It's when Phoenicia Collar would use her leverage and her contacts to get these big sponsors come out and just throw in that money, that was a done deal. And then Breanna Stewart just coming off a WNBA championship with all the energy in New York, I might add, and use that leverage and that star power being the MVP of the finals. It was a done deal.
But we're also we're going to have a bounce back year because we always have bounce back years in Olympic years. So in 28, the whole country's going to be rooting for the ladies to win and this, that, and the other. So the very next season will be more popular. Again, that's why I hope they negotiate these next 2 weeks carefully. Yeah. And with an eye on the future.
Yeah. Let's make a transition over to the NBA real quick, man. One word, one name, LeBron James. Coach D-Way, quick question. Is the NBA ready to move on and live without LeBron James in it?
Man, they've been ready. They have been ready. I think everybody that I talk to, including both of you guys, anytime that we bring this name up, it's kind of almost like all the air comes out of the building, you know. It's just we're just so over it, you know, and it's time. He has been had an incredible career, great run. Okay. But LeBron, let's go ahead and let's get on your stallion and let's see you ride off into the sunset like a grown man that's a multi-gazillionaire should.
Hey, wait a minute. The king is riding his own horse? I thought he was supposed to get carried in a carriage or something. I thought he'd get held up on shoulders. I didn't know that.
It depends on what king you're talking about.
Yeah, there you go.
If you live Leonidas, you marching out the field by yourself.
Oh, man.
Getting carried. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just LeBron, come on, man. Come on. Don't leave with and have some tarnish on your name. Leave in a clean, classy, manly way, if you will. And they've been ready to move on from LeBron. It's way overdue. Lou, dude, you knocked it out of the park. That's a mic drop right there, man.
What you got, Jada?
Yes, everybody's ready. Everybody's ready for a bunch of different reasons, and I'm not going to be long-winded. I think I've been ready since his Cleveland championship with Kyrie. I think that was peak LeBron, meaning athleticism, attitude, not flopping or crying for calls or whatever the word people put there is. I don't care what that word is. I think that was peak. And then every year since then has been some sort of weird degradation and this comes from, you couldn't have been a bigger LeBron fan than I was for 10 years. Yeah. But no, it's ready for him to go. I think the final straw that broke everybody's back was the whole Bronny thing. And we're not going to get into that. But when a player has that much, players have been able to manipulate and get rid of coaches for decades. But I think that's the first time we've ever seen a player manipulate the entire staff into a draft. Yeah, that's when it's time for you to be a GM. And I hope he figures out something in the front office of somewhere, something to that degree. But I'm ready for him to not be running up and down the 94 feet.
I'm gonna say it this way. Let's see what Lewis got. Lewis said LeBron James is trying to stay in the league long enough to break enough records to justify the status of the GOAT, which he is not in my eyes. Absolutely.
Right, and I agree with that 100%. So when we say the greatest or whatever, there's a million different definitions we can give to this conversation, and I purposely avoid this conversation, and I'm not going to get all the way into it this one. But it's arguable he is already in that conversation, right? And I think that's the whole goal for any player is you don't necessarily need to win the argument. You just want to be in the argument. But he has set longevity standards that I don't think we'll ever see in any sport ever again in terms of being able to do it at a high level for 21 seasons is his greatest attribute.
Man, I'm gonna make this statement, and you guys may jump on me, but we can just talk about it. I don't think the league is ready at this point to part ways with LeBron James, and I'm not saying that is not long overdue. And I agree with everybody; it is time. You know, nobody should be in the league, any professional league, this long. But at the end of the day, it's not like he's just sitting on the bench.
He's still worthy. He's still worthy of it.
I remember watching Cap's last game. Y'all know that is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Watch his last game, and it was almost like he was a punk drunk boxer out there, just basically trying to score. Didn't need to be on the court only because his namesake kept him on the court, and watching him walking off that court for the last time was very heartbreaking. LeBron James is still playing at a high level. I mean, I watched the game they played against the Boston Celtics. They lost the game, but at the end of the day, LeBron still looks good. And when I'm saying that, I don't think the league is ready because you're talking about over 20 million social media followers that supports him. And then many more followers that don't like him. So regardless of whether you hate him or like him, that's a lot of people that's watching the NBA to either love him or hate him, and they're going to be gone once he leaves, right? There are people who don't know nothing about basketball, but they know LeBron James, right? And that's the thing and that's the thing. Not that the league should be afraid of that, but when we watched every generation, there was always somebody to take the helm, right? To take the mantle. We watched Jordan take it from from Magic and Bird. We watched Kobe and Shaq take it from Jordan. We watched LeBron come in and take it from Kobe. There's nobody, I think, right now. We're going to have to find someone, which will be our next question. So go ahead and get that in your brain, right? Who can be the next face, right? But there's nobody that's like, man, this guy is him. Like we when it comes down to winning championships, we can look at a Nikola Jokic. When it comes down to just somebody who's phenomenal to watch from entertainment, we can look at a Luka Doncic. We look at somebody who's just a freak of nature. We can look at Wemby. Somebody who can be Jordan Ash. We can look at Ant-Man. But will they replace the energy of what we've seen since Dr. J, Magic and Bird, MJ, Kobe, LeBron? Like nobody, I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Now, with all that being said, you can only hold on to that girl for so long. You might as well just go ahead and sign the papers, bro. It's over with. Just sign the papers. And like you said, you'll never be ready for war until you get in the war. There's no preparation, right? The league will never be prepared to be without LeBron James until they learn how to adapt without him. So I don't think they ever get to the point where they'll be ready until they actually, like we never thought we'll be without Kobe until Kobe got the Achilles injury. And then we watched him limp through a whole season and then finally walk away from the game, right? Jordan talked all when he wrapped up, but LeBron, the world will be ready. But then I think the NBA is going to take a big hit. And that's my soapbox. Let's see what we got to say.
Well, this is definitely an argument, no doubt. No doubt. He's top 5 in my eyes. His greatest. Yeah. We're just trying without. Yeah. Could just me. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be fine without him. Go ahead, Coach.
I'm going to throw a little fuel on the fire here, and that is, I don't care. I'm a fan of LeBron, okay? He's not my favorite player, but I'm a fan of him. I don't care if LeBron plays for another 10 years at a high level. He will never be the greatest of all time. Okay, that's the first thing I'm going to say. Secondly, and I'm partial here, but if Victor Wembanyama is not the next guy, then I don't know who is. I mean, and I'm just going to stop right there. So, and you didn't even mention Shy, in that.
Oh yeah. I mean, to see the thing about Shea, even after winning the championship last year, in J-Dub can attest to this, he's still not a household name. That's unfortunate. I don't know why. He's still not a household name. Yeah. People know Ant-Man more than they know Shea. A lot has to do with the Netflix documentary Ant-Man was a part of, right? But Shea need to put himself out there more. We don't see him on any commercials, anything like that. He need to make himself a household name.
But if we can get San Antonio in the playoffs and people can start seeing Victor, things are going to get really interesting as far as him being the face of this deal. So
he said we lived through the transition. Said the transitional run will be no different in the NBA. Okay, definitely be all right, but you're going to lose a little bit of fans. You're going to lose because right now they're already losing. That's the biggest problem. You're already dropping in attendance. But with that being not attendance, but in the viewership. But that being said, We already talked about it. Now we're ready. Who will be the next face? Who can be the next face of the NBA?
I mean, my vote's Victor. So
I like it.
yeah.
So that was a lot to unpack. I'm sitting here still processing some of the things you said. And
Okay,
I don't
let's
necessarily.
go back.
Wait. And the only thing I want to say, if he's got 20 million social media followers, I think it's safe to say that 18 million of those people follow another NBA player. Isn't that a pretty safe assumption? 80%?
Yeah, that's safe to say.
Okay. So I don't think you're going to have a drop off because he's not there. There is a drop off going on right now, and it has to do with officiating. It has to do with tanking. It has to do with playing tournaments. It has to do with a lot of other reasons.
Mhm.
I don't think when LeBron goes, it's going to affect it negatively or positively. And to Lewis's point, it's easy for us to look back and say, yeah, Jordan handed it off to Shaq and Kobe. But when Jordan really left, we didn't know who the next people were. Okay, so there were 2 years. It was 2 seasons before Shaq and Kobe won, but it was either going to be AI or Kobe or the Truth or LeBron. So I think we're in a similar situation to that now. LeBron is the face. He is the king. To D-Way's point, I don't know what the GOAT means. So if you tell me the GOAT is who has the best stats of all time, then LeBron is already the GOAT. But for me, the GOAT is who I want for 182 game season. The best version of this person is the best player to ever play, right? So you can approach this from a bunch of different ways. But to Lewis's point, I think we have multiple people who, we're going to start seeing more on commercial. Shy and Cooper, and Luka's already getting there. Ant-Man is poised and ready to be the most popular person in the NBA right now. Victor is certainly the everybody wants to watch, because I've been watching him now for 4 years and I still don't understand what I'm really staring at.
Right.
So I think the league is going to be just fine without LeBron. I don't think that exact thing is going to make it go up or down.
Yeah.
There are other things affecting the viewership though right now.
Yeah. And to clarify, I don't believe that the league will fail. That's not that.
No. I know that's not what you said.
But I think when the league is not ready. That's the word. The league is not ready to let go. Right.
I don't think they care. I think they have a super expensive 4th, 5th, 6th man right now. He's the most expensive 4th, 5th option we've ever seen, and he can still show us flashes of superhuman strength and ability. But I'm sorry.
But Jay, I mean, and you're right. But this is what I'm going to throw at you guys. LeBron, if he would be okay being a 5th or a 6th guy, in my opinion, because of his physicality and how good of shape he's in,
he got 6 years left.
He could play 5 or 6 more years.
Yeah.
He said, you know what? I just want to keep playing. I love the camaraderie. I love the game. I still want to be a part of it. I'm okay with being a 5th or 6th guy. And he could play 5 or 6 more years because he's got the body for it.
I'm going to give you 24 to 30 hard minets a game, 24 to 30. And I'm going to take, I'm not going to get paid like a super duper star. I'm going to get paid like an all-star. I'm going to get paid like the 10th best guy in the league.
Yeah, and he the money is not the issue at this point for him. He's a multi-gazillionaire. Go ahead, DC.
When you look at that, when you look at the fan base, right? You have fan of team, fan of players. You have people who looking at the game from a business aspect. Then you have that big category called other.
Mm-hmm.
The other category, right? If you are a female and you don't like sports, right? You're a debutante, whatever the case may be, and your boyfriend say, hey, let's go to said game, right? And you like, that is the stupidest date ever. I will not sit in 2 hours and watch these sweaty men run up and down the basketball court, right? Then you throw in a LeBron James. Oh, snap, I'm going. It's just that quick because that's the name they know, right?
Right.
Category that we don't talk about, and that's because you're not Shay. I don't know Shay. Wemby, what's Wemby? You talking about Wimbledon tennis? I thought he was playing basketball, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Joker. You talking about Batman?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. LeBron James still is that household name that would say, you know what? Because it's not that they want to see LeBron James. They know from a look at me standpoint, right? If I know LeBron James, they're going to be other people there that I can probably network with, right? Mm-hmm. I ain't thinking about LeBron James. I ain't thinking about his game, but because his name is big, I know they're going to have a lot of star power.
100%.
And I get to tell people I was at the LeBron James game last night.
Yes.
No, I get you. You're 1,000% correct.
Not
But
the
it's up
Laker
to
game,
us.
the LeBron James game.
Yeah.
But it's up to not the Laker game, but it's up to us to, in the same scenario. We're going to see San Antonio. They got this new kid. He's a freak of nature. I think you're going to love it. And then you get so you're right. That other category, LeBron has more than any other basketball player right now. By far. But the other ones have some.
Yeah.
Not only am I going to a San Antonio game, I'm also going to get to see LeBron James play.
That's right. I hear you. You're right.
San Antonio.
Yeah. And that's and the league is going. I mean, obviously, like you say,
people are crazy.
You're not going to hurt behind that, right? But I think the league is like, man, how much can we squeeze out of this guy because he squeezed a lot out of us, right? That's the business aspect. He took a lot out of us, right? Well deserved. But man, his later years, man, as long as he want to play, we're gonna let him play because we want to squeeze every bit of that orange juice. You know what I'm saying?
Out of
him, right? And that's what I mean by not ready.
To your point, E, I'm gonna give you another slash. To your point, it's been 4 or 5 years ago now. I think it was when LeBron signed with LA. There was an article, an economist came out, and he broke it all down that truthfully, no team can afford to pay LeBron what he's actually worth to that city's economy. In merchandise sales and food sales and ticket sales. So, I mean, you got a good point there, but by all means, for the fans, I know all the four of us are ready to move on. And I think we're a pretty good cross section of America right now. You know what I mean?
Know, right? With that being said, so we the next face of the NBA, you threw out Wemby. Lou threw out.
I want Ant-Man. I'm rooting Ant-Man personality-wise, highlight-wise. He has some knucklehead to him that gets him into some not trouble, but makes him look childish sometimes. But I'm all in for Ant-Man. That's who I'm rooting for. And
Lou said Cooper Flag, he think Cooper has a legitimate shot at being the next NBA, given his style of play, how he plays the game on both ends. And I'm surprised.
Passionate.
There's one name that nobody mentioned. I'm so surprised. And that's Luka Doncic being the next.
Yeah, I knew you were going there. I knew you were going there.
However, I understand why people have not put Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic into that category. It's because skill-wise, they're great. Star power, they're great. But the entertainment side, right? The lack of athleticism.
The lack of passion. Say the word passion one time.
Passion. The lack of passion. Luka don't play defense. Jokic he's so good he do the stuff without effort, but if he just showed a little bit of effort, who knows how great he can be, right? But when you get somebody like Wemby, who his sole goal is to become the world's greatest athlete player, that's your guy. Ant-Man said it during the All-Star game that he don't want it.
I know.
And I don't understand that for the life of me. Why would a current NBA player superstar say that?
Because Charles Barkley had more fun than, Larry Bird. You understand what I'm saying? If you want to be the face, that comes with extra limelight and extra critique and extra criticism, right? I don't want to be a role model. I'm not saying he's going that far. But
already got girl trouble. I don't want no more.
That's right. He's knee deep in it without being the face of the NBA.
I'm saying the wrong message to your kids. I figure, brother. Made me grow up a little bit before I change. Right now, I'm too young. Right. I get you on that, man. But I think the names out there. I said what I said as far as the league not being ready because I think there's still a lot they want to squeeze out of the orange. But J-Dub, you did say the best. Lou said the best that the league is in great shape. Speaking of Shea and Ant-Man, and you start looking at like I say, Cooper Flag and Wemby. That are doing their thing, and then we still got in the league the Kawhis, the Steph Currys, and the Durants of the world who won't be far behind LeBron, but still playing at a high level. That's what makes this league fun. And then you start looking at what's coming out of college. It's coming up in the league, man. The league is in great shape.
Yeah, and there's two names that I don't hear very often, but I wish we would. Is Cade Cunningham and Jalen Brunson. We don't hear those guys. Those guys are superstars.
Yes, they are. And my bad, y'all, if I didn't call y'all out, man.
No, just too many there's too many good big names. So yeah.
And that's another thing too. When LeBron James leaves, now you have an opportunity to really, 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 really look into your young players. The young players, just like Shay, you guys got to put yourself out there. I know spending 12 hours in a trailer for 2 minute commercial shoot is not what you want to do, but it's worth it. Get your face out there, fellas. Get your face out there. You got to do it. Find those endorsement deals, get your agents to get it, and just get your name out there, man. The world need to know you. We saw with Shay, winning the championship isn't enough to be a household name. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
And that's Oklahoma City is such a small market too, so compared to
we got Hall of Famers. We got James Harden, who started his career in over there. Westbrook, KD. Not KD, but KD was over
there. You see that grin up there in Great Falls when you said Harden? That wasn't what you thought it was.
Carmelo Anthony, so you can get listen. The one thing about OKC, man, they will support you.
My night is complete with that grin from Great Falls after you said Harden.
They will support you, yes, and I'm a huge Oklahoma City fan in general, but the problem is an OKC for Shy is, do you have 100% of 1 million people supporting you, or do you have 50% of 18 million people supporting you? Those are two different exposures, right? If he was in New York or LA or somewhere else like that. So Oklahoma City players are always going to struggle with Oklahoma City publicity. Or not publicity, exposure. Exposure would be the word I would put there.
Yeah, market, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
It just got to be undeniable. Got to go out there and win.
Got to be undeniable, right? That's right.
You can't be no mediocre player. All right, then, y'all. Listen, for the first time in a long time, first time since I've been alive that I can remember, maybe not alive, but that I can remember, during the All-Star Weekend, there was a time, y'all, the All-Star Weekend was the best All-Star or whatever.
It was the best sports event of the year. Just say it, Eric.
Of the year. It's like, when it come down to just all your pros getting together, man, whether it be the Pro Bowl, the All-Star, the MLB All-Star, it was the best weekend ever because the dunk contest, the weekend from the celebrity games all the way to the rookie players getting into it. The greatest weekend of sports when it come down to the best of the best we've seen. This is the first time I've seen since I've been alive. They didn't have a primetime spot on none of the games, from the celebrity games to the rookies and to the rising stars. None of them. What has happened? NBA All-Star Weekend. Somebody please help me understand it.
So we can talk about it and we can get into it. I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna start with this. That was the best weekend events for me in at least the last 10 years, since at least 2016. I enjoyed it, all except the slam dunk contest, and that's its own separate problem that must be addressed as its own separate problem. But I thought the three-point shootout was entertaining. Thought the little I don't know what it's called when the old timer play, because I'm a big Allen Houston fan. So the fact that the Knicks won that probably had me a little more invested in that particular event. I thought the All-Star game format was better than it has been. I'm not saying it still can be improved, but it all comes down to, why is it not good? Because we don't want anybody to get hurt. So you don't have to play turned up to 10, but you can play turned up to 8, 7, 8. And we haven't seen that in years. But Victor Wembanyama set the tone early in the first game, and Ant-Man responded. And then the old guys came out and Kawhi responded. So there was intensity. There was, I'm going to quit saying this last time I'm going to say this word on this podcast. There was passion. There was a hunger. They actually played ball for the first time in 10 years. Yeah. And why was it the most important thing or the best watched thing for years and years and decades? Is because these are the best basketball players in the world, and they all came to play. The first half was highlights, and then we're really going to play in the second half. And then it was the first 3 quarters are highlights, and then we're going to play in the fourth quarter. Yeah. Well, then it was, we're not going to play at all. We're just going to shoot, 64 3-pointers a piece and score 200 points, and we're going to leave. So this is the first year I saw some passion in it in a while, and I've been really down on it. Now, the dunk contest, we can circle back around, but the number one biggest glaring problem is, if we don't know the names of these 4 dunkers, then we ain't watching them dunk.
Facts.
Next.
What you got, D-Way?
I mean, it's kind of the same. I'm old school. I remember back in the good old days when these guys, the first half, they kind of kind of hang out and have a good time. But maybe when it got down the second half, I mean they were playing, and so I'm glad to see it got a little bit more that direction.
And here's another glaring problem. I'm sorry, I completely glazed over this one. I'm not going to sit here and try to defend the lack of free agency, but before free agency was so big, the East team was the East team for like 10 years in a row. It was the same 6 guys and then 3 different backups. The same was the West. So you start to grow some camaraderie and some animosity that now it's not, we want to beat you because we've been playing together and y'all beat us for 3 years in a row. And, MJ made us look like a fool. So we're going to bring it. I mean, so with the free agency, it's less than that.
Yeah. And it's crazy that when I was watching the First Take and they was giving their spiel about this whole All-Star weekend, the one thing that kept circling around, remind you, this is First Take, this is ESPN, this is a direct link to the NBA. A lot of those NBA First Take analysts and ESPN analysts didn't even know the game was not at a primetime spot.
I know.
So if y'all don't even know, how do you not publicize an event that you're a part of? I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Because whether you put it at a different time spot or not, I still think they deserve to be at a prime time spot because that's what it is. But we get the Olympics is going on and stuff like that, and there's all those commercial spots and whatever, and I get all that. But at the end of the day, you got to at least promote the time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, we supposed to be able to go in and show some tenacity and look it up, but we've lost interest. So we expected to be at 7 o'clock, and it wasn't. We looked at 7 o'clock, and they're already in the second half. It's like, what? For the second quarter, it's like, what's going on, right? You'd already missed half of the events, right? Yeah. That's bad business for they should have done a better job promoting it. But the word they kept talking around, throwing around from the ex-players to the analysts is effort. And you hit the nail on the cost, J-Dub, effort. It don't matter what format you give. The fact that these guys show effort, and the effort was set by Wembanyama from the jump street, right? And then Ant-Man said, I follow suit because Wembanyama said it. Then you got Kawhi Leonard coming out there trying to add his name to the bucket. You know what I'm saying?
That was ridiculous.
Just going crazy. Now, the only problem about Kawhi's performance that I have to throw it because it's shooting.
Yeah. You
catch lightning in the bottle, that could have been anybody. Anybody could have got hot and they would have fed him, and then the story been towards somebody else. What Wembanyama was doing and what Ant-Man was doing was balling. Inside, outside, playing defense on both sides. Kawhi he was playing a little defense, but it was easy. I'm not saying I'm not taking away from him that he went off in that game. But what happened in the next game? Kawhi?
They were gassed.
Young Guns wasn't gassed, but they came out the
Nah.
We'll see. Bob is saying that. Sorry to say that I think the NBA is losing a wide range. Absolutely. Lou said the glaring problem in the league owners being afraid of losing out of their most prized possession. The players get hurt. I got something to say about that. Exceptions such as All-Star Game, Slam Dunk Contest, leagues most big viewership again. Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's the thing about that. They don't want the players to get hurt. Have any of you guys watched? It's not televised. You got to watch it on social media a lot of times. The players when they play in Summer League. When they go into Lifetime Fitness up there in Chicago, Sky Harbor, they be balling. I'm sitting back like, wait a minute, y'all ain't scared to get hurt. They going to get each other. They're playing college players. They're playing each other. They be balling.
Wow.
So I don't understand. And I don't want to hear that stuff about we don't want to get hurt playing the All-Star game. Do the same thing you do in Summer League.
And
this is one day versus a whole summer.
Yeah.
And your pay, which is astronomical, deservedly so, in that astronomical sum, there's a hint of, hey, you might get hurt, but this is why you're getting paid $24 million. Here, you might get hurt, but this is why we're cutting you a check for $1.2 million to play this game right now. So I know the owners don't want to hear that, and that hurts their bottom line, but that's kind of part of it. So I get it. The extra games, the All-Star games, the Slam Dunk Contest, you certainly don't want to do it in that either. But if that makes you get more exposure, have more fans, sell more merchandise, then I don't know, man. It's always a trade-off.
Have we ever seen other than this past year, the dude got himself concussed?
Yeah.
That was him trying to do it.
He hit the rim. I didn't even watch that.
but have we ever seen a player get hurt in a slam dunk contest?
No, I
Can't remember.
That I can think of.
No. So the fact that they want to no, because you just go out there and give a dunk that people want to see. Get there and be the showman, right? The part of basketball is basketball entertainment. The fans voted you to be an all-star so they can see you for that one weekend, and then you don't want to play. I don't like, you owe that to the fans. Y'all should even get paid for the all-star, personally, because that's part of your resume to be an all-star.
Absolutely.
So why get extra money for it? Come out there and play. It's a game. It's an exhibition. You can, and you know how to. Everybody knows how to play and go hard in the paint without getting hurt, right?
Yeah.
Because there's really, when there's something on the line, like a championship to win, or you're trying to win this game, a regular season game, you're going to put your body in a situation like KD. You knew you had some ailments with your leg, but you went out and pushed yourself to the playoffs to end up popping your Achilles. Same way with JT, same way with the other guys, Kobe Bryant, right? But you're not going to do that in an all-star game, right? If your body is well and you're able, you're going to go out there and play.
Yep.
And look, and you don't have, and I'm on my soapbox, man, and you don't have starting the game off with a 6-man rotation or it's 8-man rotation. You got 12 all-stars on, everybody get to play. So you're not even playing the whole game.
That's right.
Yeah.
Get them games in there. I'm off my soapbox on that. They got to fix it, man. But that's what they brought this year, man, with the NBA All-Star, man. You got anything else to add? We can move on to the NFL.
Wow.
No, bro, I think that covered it. They and just add on one last thing. If you hurt yourself in a dunk contest, you basically hurt yourself on a wide open layup. Wasn't it inevitable that you were gonna hurt yourself at some time during a live action game?
Yeah, I mean,
you got nobody guarding you.
That's what I was
it was gonna happen. It was going to happen.
Oh, that's hilarious, man. Hey, I'm gonna play some clips for you guys. I want to let's play Cam Newton real quick. Let's go ahead and see what he got to say. When we jump into the NFL. Here is Cam Newton.
All positions aren't created equal in all of sports.
Yeah.
Just the quarterback position alone garners so much attention because this is what I do know to be true. No matter how good, no matter how elite, no matter how devastating, talent deficient a quarterback could be, I can tell you what you need to win. And I can tell you 9 out of 10 times why you losing. And it's with one position. Other sports, you can have deficiency at the pitcher. You can have deficiency at your catcher. You can have deficiency at your center position. You can have this a deficiency at your goalie. You can have a deficiency at your guard, your forward, your striker. You can compensate for other things. I'm going to tell you what, there's one position in all of sports that you cannot compensate for. The quarterback position is the most important position in sports because you can win when they are good. You cannot win when they are the reason why you are losing.
Because the ball touches their hand every play.
Now, that's a big, wide range because on one side, you're saying, hey, that's the Josh Allens, that's the Lamar Jacksons, that's the Patrick Mahomes. Those are those guys, the Joe Burrows. And then you may look at the bottom tier where you have, I'm sorry to use these examples, but the Justin Fields, the guys that's right on the cusp. You got the Tyler Shucks.
Now let's hear what Richard Jefferson gave a little clap back to that. Let's see what Richard Jefferson have to say.
Arnold is your quarterback to win a Super Bowl. There is not a human scenario in basketball history that you could equate that where the best player on the basketball team won a championship and their most important position was the equivalent to Sam Darnold in football. Sam Darnold, who had a solid year, but had an elite roster around him. So how can we say that the most important position in American sports is a quarterback that plays half the possessions, that needs a kicker to win the game, can win the game and not have a good year, not be an all-pro. If that's the most important position, you would imagine that they are all pros. They're what we would consider all-stars. You can't win a championship if your best player is not an all-star. Your best player's got to be all-NBA MVP candidate to even have a chance at a championship.
Yeah.
So the whole point of the conversation is let's stop the narrative with the American quarterback is the most important position. It's not true. It is not true. It's proven to be false. The Super Bowl just added to that narrative is made believe. We got to get a quarterback. Yes, a quarterback is important. But if you are the best player on a basketball team, you have to dominate offensively and you have to play defense. And some of the most elite do both. If Giannis is winning Defensive Player of the Year and winning MVP, do not tell me that there is one single quarterback on the planet that had a better year than him. It's impossible statistically, and I know the game is different. Let's stop the narrative. The most important position in American sports is the best player on the basketball team because of both sides and the importance of both sides. And typically the champions have elite offense and they are adequate or elite defensively.
Wow. Jada, that was a lot.
And I've seen both those clips. Already watched. I didn't know you were going to play them for us.
Yeah. Is the NFL QB the most important position in all the sports? That's what we're talking about right now. For those who watched the clip, for those who are still on watching us, J-Dub, Coach D-Wade, that was both play. First of all, Cam Newton and Richard Jefferson, man, both of them gave a nice soliloquy. And
Yes, sir.
Your point. You know, they had me going from both sides. And right now, I don't know which side I'm leaning on. Now, what I didn't play is RG3 had something to add to combat and to side with Cam Newton, but you know, RG3 owed me an apology, so I'm not fooling with him.
Okay.
The way he talked about Angel Reese, he still owed me a personal apology. So until I'm not gonna throw his stuff out there, but man, let's talk about it. Who you rocking with, Jada?
So I'm gonna go first. I'm with Richard Jefferson all day long. The reason I'm a ginormous football fan, always have been, always will be. But the reason I love the game is because all 11 guys got to be on the same page. All 11 guys got to be doing their job. All of them, you know. So the job of the quarterback for me is to manage the game. Is to not screw up, to keep your fellas in line, to be a general. Doesn't mean you have to be good, right? I mean, all that means is you can't be bad. That's more important, right? I think Sam Darnold was a great example, right? Sam Darnold, we're not going to sit here and argue that Sam Darnold one of the best 3 quarterbacks in the NFL, but what we can all say is he's not bad. He's a game manager. He did his job. He did it well. So who would we rather have? Would you rather have elite receivers in a great line for both scenarios, elite receivers and a quarterback who can't get it to him, or mediocre receivers but a quarterback who puts it on a button every single time? So I don't see, if you have an elite quarterback, that's awesome. You have a tiny bit of an advantage, but I think we've seen it year in, year out through the decades that an elite quarterback is not necessary to win the Super Bowl. But to Richard Jefferson's point, somebody on that team better be elite if you're even hoping to go to the NBA Finals. Somebody. They don't have to be the best player. It doesn't have to be MJ, but you better have an Isaiah Thomas running around out there somewhere. So I'm not going to put as much credence into the quarterback as Cam Newton is. I'm on the Richard Jefferson side for sure.
What about you, D-Way?
Man, good stuff. So it's been proven. We can sit here and name drop how many times what I would call an average or a little bit above average quarterback has won a Super Bowl. Quarterbacks that will never be mentioned in the Hall of Fame conversation. So the NFL has done a great job marketing that position and paying that position to make people think that is the most important position in all of sports. But I'm with Richard Jefferson solely because I've seen too many circumstances in football where a quarterback has won a Super Bowl and he wasn't the best player on the team, or he wasn't in the top 3 or 4 best players on the team. If you can manage and if you can drive a bus And if you are just solid, then you can play quarterback in the NFL. But there's so many. I mean, yeah, he talked about the pitcher or the catcher, and you can't really say a pitcher is the most important, but I can say the pitching position. I can say the pitching staff is the most important position in all of sports as far as I'm concerned. So that's my take on it. He said, I'd love to hear yours.
Now, just one more little caveat to add. The thing I will give the quarterback position 1,000% is we've never had a position in any game where they get all the blame, right?
Yeah.
Dak Prescott is a great example. Lamar Jackson's a great example. You have great seasons and your defense lets you down or your coaching staff doesn't do something right, and it is your fault, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's fair either, but they have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Jim Plunkett, Trent Dilfer, he's given phenomenal examples over in his side.
Yes. So this one was hard for me because I was looking at, I heard Richard Jefferson's point and I heard Cam Newton's point. Richard Jefferson gave a great, I mean, his clap back was phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
But I think he was missing the point that Cam Newton was trying to make. Because I think because Cam Newton never threw out the word elite, as though Richard Jefferson kept throwing out elite, and I get it, right? And so I'm gonna try my best to clean it up and give some type of, because I slightly agree with Cam, and here's the reason why. When you look at people like a Jim Plunkett or a these other names, and the one that come to mind is Eli Manning, right? Even recently with Sam Darnold, even worse when you had a washed up Peyton Manning who got in the game because their star quarterback was hurt. We watched Eagles quarterback get in and win it, right? When their quarterback was hurt, right? Nick Foles when the Wentz was hurt.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's not about the player; it's about the position. In NBA, it's about the player. As Richard Jefferson talking about, your guy has to be an all-star, has to be an MVP candidate in order to win a championship, right? What Cam is talking about solely about this issue, and he even, because remember, he wasn't talking about the league, because he even threw in the lower tiers like the Justin Fields and the Tyler Shucks of the world, right? If you get a chance to play in a Super Bowl, if your team get a chance to get enough to get into the playoff and you get to run the gauntlet and get to a Super Bowl, you don't have to be elite to be there, but you got to have a quarterback that understands the game, right? That can beat that bus driver, right? We can go back right now and take the Seattle Seahawks and ask ourselves, if Geno Smith was still the QB of the Seattle Seahawks, would they be where they are right now? Probably not, right? If you go back to the New England, I mean to the New York Giants when Eli won it. You take any other quarterback or lower tier quarterback and put in that position, they may not have won it, right? Because now when you get in that position, I think chemistry, camaraderie, you can be a basketball player because it's all about individual talent, right? You can be a basketball player, and we see them guys all the time to get traded. You ain't got to like your teammates. Your job is to come out there and get buckets. You've been playing the same old places in Pee Wee, right? But when you come into the pros, yeah, some of the players are similar in nature, but the playbooks are different, vary from coach to coach. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to come in there and be that person going to be up all night long in that goddamn locker room, in that film room, learning this stuff. Basketball players ain't watching film like that. They know what they got to do. It's the same old game, right? So it's a different from that quarterback position. You have to be able to know yourself. If I'm Nick Foles, I know I'm not Carson Wentz. But what I can do is lose this game. I'm not expecting to go out there and throw for 400 yards. I'm expecting the pressure's on me not to lose. In NBA, the pressure's on you to win. For me, all I have to do is not lose. And I know that seems like it's saying two different ways, but that says a lot.
Yeah.
I want to get my running back involved. I want to get my defense involved. I just can't be the one. I can't go out there and turn the ball over. That's all I got to do. And that's a lot for a person when you just get into the game in that quarterback position if you're not elite. Now, if you're elite and you're the Patrick Mahomes, and then just like you said, D-Way, the whole world is watching you, right? If LeBron James lose a championship and all the championship that LeBron James has lost, it was everybody else's fault besides LeBron James. Everybody else's fault. But you let anybody, what we said, God, dog, man, what happened over Drake May? Yeah. You're a little pedestrian there, sir. It's all on you. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, I know you want to clap back.
So to take a different tact, I won't use the word elite. right?
Okay.
That's what I'm finna say. Thank you, Bob. I don't like the word important there because you and I we've talked about this on the show. I don't care how good the quarterback is and how good anybody is. If the offensive line isn't doing their job, so the word important throws me off. That's why I love football, is because all the positions are important. And if you have a hole, that hole gets exposed. The defense is looking for holes in the offense, and the offense is looking for holes. We're looking for your weak link. So important is odd there. You do have to be more intellectual. You do have to remember more than the receiver needs to remember 4 routes. The tight end needs to remember whether he blocks or runs out. The running back needs to remember what hole he's supposed to go through. The quarterback has to remember it all. So there is a level of intellect that has to come with that position. But important just doesn't rub me the right way, because, man, if your whole team is elite, and let's just go into fantasy land for a second, but your starting right guard is 5'3" and 135 pounds, and he has to start there, that's a problem, right? So that would be the most important thing to fix. Right. So I don't like the word important. It takes them all. It takes them all.
Right. And the reason why I brought this up on the show, because D-Way said it. He said it. Because it can go either way, right? I watch Richard Jefferson as the basketball player defend basketball, and I watch RG3 and Cam Newton defend the football position. But because I know you guys, and I know you where you think, I brought up on the show because at the end of the day, D-Way is 100,000, 2,000%. The most, if we're going to break it down to the word important position in a team sport, it's got to be the pitching position.
Has to be. There's no other choice. Maybe the stopper goalie.
Is you against the other team while your other guys are there watching.
It's the loneliest position in sports.
The goalie, but their team got to stop them to get to that point on the side of the ice, right? But on that mound, it's just you. You can't avoid it. The goalie, like, as long as they don't come down here, I'm good. On the mound, you got to face everybody that get up there. You can't avoid it.
You cannot.
It is up to you. It's like, that is the most important position, and it's not like an important player, but like D-Way said, how you handle that pitching position day in and day out, you know what I'm saying? How you get your relievers in, all this stuff like that.
Oh,
that is the most
that's why I use
that's
why I use the words the entire staff is what I said.
Absolutely, the entire staff from everybody, right?
Because there's a lot of teams out there in baseball, and I'm excited because they're in spring training now and they're playing games, which is cool. But there's a lot of teams out there that have what they call their ace pitcher. Yeah. And those guys never sniff the playoffs. He has a good year.
Yeah.
But because the staff is weak, the team doesn't have a good year. But if you get a good staff and you said, starters, middle relievers, long relievers, and the guys in the bullpen that do their job, and man, that's when you got a squad. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
man.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, this has been a great show, man. You guys came with the thunder today, man. I really appreciate it. Y'all, we want to be with J-Dub for about a couple more weeks. Again, he's got to go out and handle some coaching and family duties, and we appreciate him. And we'll be holding it down until he get back. J-Dub, that being said, you got any final thoughts for the day?
No, just y'all keep the conversation fresh. We're in a good time. I've been trying to catch some more college basketball. There's some good games. You know how the end of conference play gets nuts if you win this game. I know. So because March Madness really starts mid-February, But yeah, man. I appreciate it as always. And next time I'm around, hopefully I can add some more value.
As always.
Anyway.
Man, hey, I want to give a shout out to the Frisco Wakeland Lady Wolverines, who are playing right now in the 3rd round of the Texas High School Women's Basketball Playoffs. They're playing the Crandall Pirates at Highland Park High School, and that's our buddy Brandon Marshall. His niece, Sydney Sutton, is playing for Frisco Wakeland. So, man, shout out to the Lady Wolverines and to Sydney. And I hope they take that and continue with their march to the state playoffs. So that's my final thoughts. EC, phenomenal show. Thanks for having us, as always.
Appreciate it, man. I wish we should have went to that game, but it's all
I
good,
know,
man.
right?
Right. For all you guys out there, it's here, man. Just go out and vote. That's all I'm going to say. Exercise your right to vote. All you folks who don't want to vote, that's your prerogative or whatever. But I would tell you, please go out and vote, right? And that's all I have to say. We got the final thoughts from Robert. He said, how about the U.S.?
Yes.
Oh,
Of course.
Robert,
Of course.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
right.
Thank you. Yes. Congratulations.
And in
man.
entertaining fashion as well. You know what I mean? They were
Everything,
Yeah.
man.
Of
Oh,
course,
man.
that's the best way.
And it's so funny because Stephen A. I love when Stephen A. tried to, let me say this, out of respect, he has a job to do, right? But when he tried to do too much, trying to compare this to the U.S.-Russia team, that was like a match back then, the Miracle on Ice. I'm like, didn't make any sense to me. But he was trying. I guess he wanted to show everybody that he did a little research before the show, whatever. But man, but you can't compare the two. You know what I'm saying? But this was a great win for the U.S. team. So man, Canada been whooping their tail for so long. So, so it's like, here's what it is. You can't keep whooping that man for so long. You gotta get one in. So yeah,
Facts.
it was a great. So man, congratulations. I was gonna dive into it, but who know more about hockey on this show? Because I don't.
Oh gosh, I guess we gotta get
I
a
try. I don't know enough. We need to get Bob, apparently.
There you go, Bob. Let us know, man. Before you go, if any of you guys out there that are watching or know anybody that you know that when the World Cup comes this summer, we're gonna need some help on the show to cover the World Cup. I cannot have a podcast without at least having something about the World Cup, and I do not know soccer, and I hate it even worse. So I will try my best to get into it because I have an obligation to duty as a podcast to get into it. But man, if you know anybody that wants to come in and talk soccer, please let me know so we can get them on the show. Other than that, that's all I have for myself, Coach D-Way, J-Dub. Man, listen, this has been a FairWeather Fan. Man, please like, subscribe, share, leave comments, join this conversation. But until next Tuesday, for now, we are out. Peace out.